Back in 2018, I was making a ton of videos for my YouTube channel and business was really starting to take off. I had just started getting clients on a regular basis who said they found me on YouTube and they were signing exclusive agreements to work with me only. They weren't interviewing anybody else. They were giving me the listing as soon as I showed up at their house to sign the paperwork. Life was amazing. But the problem was I started falling behind in my video creation content strategy. I was so busy meeting with clients. I was spending 8 hours a day in the car. And suddenly I started to find myself not making my videos every single week like I swore that I would because I was so busy working with clients. So the temptation was so strong to say, well, why don't I just skip a week? What's the big deal? Is anyone really going to care if I don't put out a video this week? The problem is it's a slippery slope. And once you start doing that, then it's easy to skip another week and to skip another week. It's kind of like when I was doing keto and when I ate no bread and no carbs whatsoever, it was a piece of cake. But as soon as I said, I'll just have like one sandwich, I'll just have some chips. And the next thing you know, I'm eating an entire baguette with roasted garlic on it for dinner all by myself. So I was forcing myself to record videos, even though I just didn't want to, in order to not fall off the wagon. And suddenly it just wasn't fun anymore. I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't want to keep making videos. I felt obligated to do it. It really wasn't a lot of fun, and I almost just gave it up altogether. But luckily, I found something that changed everything, and that was... Hey friend, my name is Karin Carr, and I teach real estate agents how to get business for free by making awesome video content that doesn't cost an arm and a leg or take a lot of fancy editing strategies. A lot like this video right here. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, go ahead and help a girl out and hit the subscribe button. So back to my story. I found something that changed my whole life. And you know what that was? Hiring a video editor. Now, I didn't have a ton of money yet. I was making sales. I was getting clients. I was getting commission checks. But I still had that scarcity mentality of like, I can't afford to hire somebody. I'm not making that much money yet. I can't afford it. And I realized that the longer I continued to do it myself, the more I was shooting myself in the foot. So let's figure out if it could be the right time for you to outsource the editing. I want you to figure out how much money would you like to earn this year. And let's say you want to make $150,000. We're going to open up our calculator and we're going to say $150,000 divided by 2,080 hours. Now, back in the day, gosh, so long ago, like in 1996, I worked for a software company in the HR department. And that's why I know it's 2,080 hours, 40 hours a week times 50 weeks a year with a 2-week vacation puts you at 2,080 hours a year. So if we take $150,000 divided by 2,080 hours a year, that makes your hourly rate $72.12 an hour. Let's just call it $72 an hour. Would you pay a video editor $72 an hour to edit your videos? Of course not. But when you do it yourself, you are paying yourself $72 an hour to do probably a fairly mediocre job editing your videos. Now, maybe you're the world's best video editor, but unless you were trained in that, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're not. I know I am not. I am mediocre at best. Would I pay myself? Heck, would I pay the most skilled video editor in the world $72 an hour on an ongoing basis? Heck no. But could you find a virtual assistant? Could you find a college student who is majoring in film who would do it as an internship? Is there a high school kid or a college kid in your neighborhood who would like to earn some extra money and edit videos for you? You can absolutely find somebody at an affordable rate and get this off of your plate. When you were able to outsource it, suddenly you get hours and hours and hours of your time back every single week, every single month. So you hire a VA in the Philippines, for example, and they're super affordable, and you're all excited about it, except for one thing. You don't really know how to train them, and you get frustrated because they're not really doing that great of a job. So let's talk about how do we train that VA to do your editing. So the first thing I would do is show them examples of what you want your finished videos to look like. Whether that is videos on your channel that you have personally edited in the past, show them those videos, or videos of other people whose style you admire, and say, this is what I want them to look like in the end. Now, I want you to make them fancier than the ones that I was doing myself. Or you say, I don't like when they have all these crazy transitions. I don't like all of there's a crossfade and there's a jump cut in my world, and that's it. I don't need anything else. I don't need the crazy transitions. I want to have consistent branding. I want to have lower thirds that look the same on every single video. These are my colors. These are my fonts. This is my logo. I want you to make them all cohesive so that from one video to the next, they all kind of have my brand stamped right on them. So you make your video, you film your video. What I am doing right now, I am literally talking to the camera. I am going to film this video. When I'm done, I will upload it to Google Drive and I will send them the link. Here you go. They will download it. They will do all of the editing. If I have any specific notes, I can certainly give them some feedback. Or you can do something like this, which is one of my favorite things to do. In fact, I made a mistake earlier and I had to start over. So when I was talking about you could hire a college kid or a high school kid to edit your videos for you if they just want to make a few extra dollars. And I didn't like how it turned out. So I stopped, I took a breath, and then I said it again. You could even say, okay, that was the take. I want you to use that one in the finished product. You're speaking directly to the camera, telling the video editor which one you liked the best. Please use that one. Problem solved. So they do their work, they do their magic, they do all of the editing, it looks great, they send you their first draft. It's very tempting for you to want to fix it yourself, but I'm going to encourage you to put the brakes on and not do that. Instead, go to loom.com and start a screen share. Show them the video that you are watching, and you will narrate and you will say something like, at the 2-minute and 13-second mark, could you please replace this with a picture that looks like this? Could you please add a sound effect here? Could you change that transition? It was a little too much. Could we make it something simpler? Could you add some background music that doesn't sound like elevator music from 1984? So you're giving them feedback. I love this. I love this. Could we change this? Make sure that you're not just tearing this video apart. If all you give them is negative feedback, they're going to feel like you're kind of a slave driver and they're not going to enjoy working for you. Tell them when they do stuff well. Praise them for a job well done, and then tell them the things that you would like to have them revise. Then you're just going to copy the link. Loom.com is so great because it saves the recording in the cloud, and you just copy the link and you send it to the person. They watch your video feedback. There is no confusion. There will be no back and forth of I didn't really understand what you meant, because you are showing them, you're speaking to them, you're showing them on screen what it is that you're talking about. There's no confusion, usually. There's no ambiguity there. So they make their revisions, they send you their revised version maybe the following day. You watch it and say, perfect, it is done. Now you have two choices. You can either upload the video to YouTube yourself, you can write the description, you can put in the tags, you can upload the thumbnail, you can add it to several playlists, you can do all of that stuff yourself. Or if you feel confident that your video editor is skilled in those areas, you can make them a manager of your YouTube channel. They get their own username and password. If for any reason this relationship doesn't work out and you have to terminate them, you just revoke their rights. They can't get into your channel anymore. But assuming that everything is going swimmingly, they could upload the video for you and do all of that stuff, optimize the video, save it as unlisted, or schedule it, and now you can come in and look at the finished product, make any last-minute revisions that need to get done before it goes live, and voila! How many hours of your week did you just get back? Would that be worth $30? It all depends on, what they're charging you for this service, but it's probably far less than $10 an hour. Far less than $10 an hour. And so now you are simply the talent. You are the person on camera making the videos that drive traffic to you that result in getting your phone to ring. Somebody else does all of the work. Now, how many other things in your business could we do that for? I was listening to an awesome podcast today. I was listening to the Karin Cast. If you don't listen to this, you should check it out. Karin is a website for real estate agents. They have an awesome little podcast. And I was listening to this gentleman who was being interviewed. And he said, what are all of the things that I do when I am getting a property ready for the market? And how can I do none of these things? Okay, so here are all the different things. Who could do this? And 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 most of them were able to be done by a virtual assistant. They were not required to be done by someone who is licensed. If they are required to be done by someone licensed, it would either be you or another real estate agent on your team. But I just loved this guy's brain. It was, how can I do none of this stuff? And yes, you will pay somebody else to do those things for you, so it's not free, which means you will make less money in the end. But with all of the time that you're saving, you can be selling more houses. You can be meeting more clients, which results in more revenue for you. So I want you to start having this mindset of the more I can get rid of the $10 an hour type jobs and not do them myself, and the more I can do the things that are $1,000 an hour jobs, right? The things that if I go on a listing appointment and I meet face to face with that seller and I get that listing, when I sell that house, I know I'm going to make a bare minimum of $8,000. That is a high dollar amount activity. But making the listing flyer is not. That is something you can outsource to somebody. Give them a template and they use the same one every single time. You don't need to be doing those things. Have somebody else do them so that your time is more valuable. Your time is being spent doing the things that advance the business forward, things that will grow your business and make you a lot more money. Stop thinking about how things will save you money and start thinking about which things will make you money. If doing this thing does not make you money, give it to somebody else. Let them do it. But if doing this thing will make your business money, then by all means do it if you are the only one who can do it. If somebody else could do it, you could give it to them too. For example, hiring a showing assistant. You do not have to be the person that shows your client 15 houses. You do not need to be the one driving all over town opening the door. Why not hire a showing assistant? You're giving them a job. They are now gainfully employed. They are making money. You're getting all that time back where you could be going on more listing appointments because you're not showing the properties. When you pitch it to your client, they're not going to have a problem with this. When they go to the dentist, first they see the receptionist, then they see the hygienist, then they see the x-ray technician, then they see the dentist. The dentist does not greet them at the door when they walk in and have them fill out their client intake form, do they? They understand that you have specialized knowledge and therefore you do certain things in your business, but you have other people who help you with the other things. It's your business. You get to run it however you want to. If your client's not okay with that, it's not really their decision now, is it? It's your decision how you run your business. And I want to encourage you to think bigger. I want you to start envisioning being the CEO of your business. You're not just a self-employed real estate agent. You are the CEO of your business, and you need to start acting like the CEO if you want that business to start making bank. The desktop wallpaper on my computer says, I do CEO. And the reason I have that as my desktop wallpaper is because so many times I will find myself making a landing page on my website, or writing a big long email, or doing something which I, as the CEO of the company, really do not need to be doing. Yes, it needs to get done. Doesn't need to get done by me. It is something that is a $10 an hour task, not a $1,000 an hour task. So delegate it, get it off of your plate, let somebody else do it instead. You move on to the things that make the business money. It's a whole mindset shift, and I'm still working on it myself. I am still putting it into practice every single day, and I have to have little visual reminders for myself. And so one of them is my desktop wallpaper that says, you're the frickin' CEO, dang it. Why are you doing some of these tasks that don't need to get done by you? Give them to an admin who loves to do that stuff, who's probably way better at it than you are, and it costs you a fraction of what you're paying yourself to do it. So where do you find one of these miraculous virtual assistants? In this video popping up on screen, I talk all about where to find a VA, probably for $5, $6, $7 an hour, who will not cost you money, they will make you money. So watch that one next.